got, trading like a king, swiping on your phone thinking that's the real thing. YOLO'd your rent cause some dude on a thread said bro this can't lose, now you're crying in bed. You bought the top, now it's dropping like a stone, watching that red like it's carved into bone. Diamond hands, bro. Man, shut the hell up, your account's in the dirt, now you're fresh out of luck. Don't mess up your trades, don't play like a clown. The market don't care if you're up or you're down. You bought the dream, now you're stuck in hell. Should've read the charts instead of the shield. Oh, now you're a value guy, that's a damn joke. Made $100, now you act like you're woke. Bragging on Twitter about catching the dips, meanwhile your whole fucking portfolio slips. What's your game plan? Oh, you ain't got one. Buying at open and selling for crumbs. Praying to Buffett like that shit's divine, while I'm out here just snatching what's mine. Don't mess up your trades, don't play like a clown. The market don't care if you're up or you're down. You bought the dream, now you're stuck in hell. Should've read the charts instead of the shit. Stop flexing screenshots from 3 weeks ago. The gains post-stage like some holy dough. You were up, now you're back in the red. Should've took profits, now dreams are dead. Don't mess up your trades, don't play like a clown. The market don't care if you're up or you're down. You bought the dream, now you're stuck in hell. Should've read the charts instead of the shills. Stock game savage, eat or get eaten. If you're still holding, you're getting beaten. Learn your lesson, play it right, or go all in and kiss your ass goodnight.
Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to another degenerate episode of the Matt Core Show, where today's a beautiful Monday, January the 6th, and it's actually not that beautiful. It's kind of cold and windy and a little crummy looking outside, but hey, in our hearts, metaphysically, it's beautiful. And honestly, I would argue that it's beautiful in the stock market. I don't know if you've seen it in pre-market trading, but things are green, 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 rippity-skippity doo-dah to the upside. In fact, I'm so excited about how green things are. Take a look at that. Take a look. Folks, come on. I know it's early in the morning, but a quick round of applause for degenerate gambling, for stonks going up and up and up. Look, come on. Come on, that's a beauty, Clark. That's a beaut. Look at the SPY up a nice 0.85% pre-market. Q's up 1.12. You have Nvidia and really the whole semiconductor industry ripping, but Nvidia's leading the charge, up about 2.8%. You have Tesla up 2.7%. Whoo-wee. Things are looking beautifully green. Now, very quickly, a shout out, obviously, to today's partner, Public. More on them in a second. But the reason I have these guys up, the SPY, the Qs, Nvidia, and Tesla, is because your boy's been degenerately swinging call options on them. And obviously, I've been doing it through my favorite broker to trade on. Absolutely, without a doubt, no question in my mind. Public, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. Sign up if you haven't already, because this is the only place I know of that you could trade options and get a rebate. It is unheard of for every other brokerage, so you might as well check it out. But like I said, more on them in a second. We're looking long and strong, folks. What a way to start a Monday. Seriously, I know we had a good conclusion to the week last week. I know I had a good weekend. I hope you had a good weekend. And now we're starting off for a very exciting week. Unfortunately, this is not our first full week of trading. Remember, this Thursday, the market closed in observation of, I guess it's technically a national holiday. Basically, the market shuts down whenever a president passes away on the day of like their funeral in observation of them being the president. So this Thursday, the market is not open. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we skip to Friday. So I think it's going to be weird. The fact that I don't know why they didn't put it on a Friday, because I think it's just going to prompt people to take an early weekend. But it's super strange because we have unemployment report on Friday. So maybe that's why they didn't do it on a Friday. So the whole thing's a little bit confusing. It's a little bit messed up in terms of if you're playing shorter term swing plays, especially with options. Now you have one less day. So I just want to throw that out there to everyone. Matt, how did you like that Trading View script? Ben, I'm not sure what one you are talking about, but I like it. I don't know. If you're talking about the highs and the lows on my screen that were on my screen, I just manually put those up the way I always have. But anyway, market is closed this Thursday, and there's some other important things going on. Like, for example, we have an announcement at 9:45 today. And then we have some other things coming down the pipeline later this week that are all going to be very influential in terms of the state of the economy, unemployment, inflation, the Fed, this, that, the other thing. So I'm going to be laying that all out for you today. I also want to kind of explain the phenomena of what's going on right now. It's pretty definitive that what we're seeing in the overall market indices, such as the SPY and the Qs, this is a Vana squeeze, V-A-N-N-A. It's a second derivative in the world of options trading. It's the second order derivative of volatility. It's not commonly discussed. It gets really nerdy. It feels like you want to put on giant glasses and put on your pocket protector just to talk about it. Like I said, it's some nerdy, deep mathematical stuff, but it is inherently important, and the nerds do rule the world of trading. But right now, what we're seeing, I think it's pretty safe to say that we're either in the middle or kind of getting close to the end of a legitimate Vana rally. So I could be breaking that down. Of course, we have some overall political news and drama to get into. I have some seasonality to get into. I have some individual equity updates. And then the market's going to go dingity ding ding ding. And hopefully we're going to have an absolute ripper of a day. So I hope that sounds good to all of you. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. And also, specifically in the red land of YouTube, when you subscribe, there's going to be a bell icon right to the right of the subscription button. You click on that, and when you turn on your notifications, make sure it just says all, not personalized, because I'm getting a lot of reports from people saying, hey man, I'm getting no notification when you're putting your videos out. For example, over the past week, we've put out 3 different videos, and most of the communication I'm getting back from the loyal audience, such as you guys, we're not getting that notification whatsoever. So one easy way to avoid any potential mishap is, like I said, click on that bell icon, which is the notifications, and switch it over to all from personalized, because for whatever reason, YouTube is just not sending out notifications to people. And then for those of you on Rumble, it should be. I'm not hearing as many issues or anything like that on the Rumble land. So I just want to call that out to everyone. With all that being said, let's take a nice little look back at how beautifully green everything is. I think we're setting up for a very interesting day. In fact, I think we're going to be talking about the SPY at 598.25. That's kind of my upper limit, and that just happens to so perfectly line up with SPX at 6,000. In reality, that's my real target, and then I just had to roughly convert the level over on SPY. But basically, just north of 598 is what I'll be looking for today as an upper bound, just because anything past that, past 6,000, it gets really, really sticky with respect to the options market. There's a lot of calls at that level. So by the time we get up there, it's going to be super positive gamma. So the market makers are going to start working against us. You have people who are long calls, and they're going to start monetizing. So that's going to drop deltas from the system, the overall structure, I should say. So what you need to know is 6,000 is very much in play. And of course, there's some non-zero probability that we shoot past that. And then I'd be watching 6,040, 6,050, but those odds are just very low. So my first target out of the gate, upside target, is 6,000. I would love to hold 5,970. And then there's big support around 5,950. Those are some key levels. I'll be breaking that down. But before we get to all of that, Stock futures rebound after down week as Nvidia chip shares jump. So yes, the tech sector is looking pretty freaking good, being led higher by Nvidia. Broadcom looks good. ASML looks good. We do have some other catalysts this week that could bring Nvidia higher and higher and higher. So I want to be getting into that. Nvidia looking like an absolute champ this morning, getting above that 148 recent high in early December. The all-time high is just below 153, and then 150 is the key technical level, key psychological level, and right now it is a mega important options level as well. So obviously that's my short-term target on Nvidia. And even though we're talking about semiconductors, I'm just very impressed how we have Tesla bouncing off of 380 all the way back up to 410, pre-market at 422. I'm going to be watching this 430 level. Not only can you see support turning into resistance, but once again, a very important options level. And then of course we have this trend line breakout around 435-ish. So that's going to be a big one for me to watch. And just because we're talking about the fun, exciting things, Bitcoin, after this little fake out breakdown below the 50 EMA, strong recovery. We're battling out at a recent high. And once again, the key level of 100,000, recent rejection. We had some support. We had some rejection. We're there once again. A breakout above that, in my book, kind of easily, or I should say reasonably, sets up a test of 102.5 thousand. And obviously when you're talking about Bitcoin looking pretty good, then you're going to have Coinbase looking decent, up 3% in pre-market. You're going to have MSTR looking pretty decent, up 3.6%. So right now, overall, the theme of the day is the bulls are in control. So if we look at the overall market, yeah, things were a little bit shaky at the end of December to the start of January, but now we're kind of getting going. And I'm just wondering if this getting going is going to be enough to take out these recent highs that we saw right around Christmas. Because if we take those out, it completely changes the market structure from lower highs and lower lows to now same lows, higher highs, and that is basically a transition from a bearish to a bullish cycle. So those are the higher level views of like what I'll be looking at today. But here are the things you should know about that could be influencing all of that. So first piece of political drama, Canada's Trudeau is likely to resign this week, according to the Globe. I would say it's about time. We've all been waiting for this dude to step down. I'm not sure a single person in Canada likes him. I don't know how he's remained in power for so long. He's not been a net add or net positive to the country and their political state. Many people very, very, very unhappy. So I would say this is about time. And even though I'm not in Canada, definitely not voting in Canada, I think all the Canadian viewers are pretty much behind this and saying, hey, could not come soon enough. Now bringing in a little bit south, Trump weighs January 6th clemency with Congress set to ratify his win. So January this month is going to be a big political shift month. For those of you who have maybe been sleeping under a rock, President-elect Trump will become the sitting president as of January 20th, which means that out with the old, in with the new. And with that, there's some uncertainty. What's going to be happening, especially with relation to the market? When are we going to hear about tariffs? What's going on with crypto? What's going on with trade? What's going on with many things that relate to the almighty dollar? So not just this clemency thing, obviously that's important depending on which side you're on, but more through the lens of the economy and the stock market. There's going to be some shifts. There's going to be some volatility. So definitely pay attention. Elon Musk has gone on from making people in the US kind of angry at him lately to setting his sights on the UK. Elon Musk asks if America should, quote unquote, liberate the people of Britain in tirade against the UK government. This was literally just happening. And I guess that's a tactic. If you're making people in America mad, you just get them to start paying attention to something else by making people in the UK mad. UK Prime Minister Starmer said in response that the ex-owner had, quote unquote, crossed a line accusing Musk of spreading lies and misinformation. So this all relates to some pretty heinous stuff. I don't think I could say this without getting taken down, so just read what's on the screen. Or you could probably listen to more of an eloquent breakdown from Bloomberg here.
Elon Musk appears to have turned on Reform UK Party leader Nigel Farage, a friend, of course, of Donald Trump, who he previously supported. The billionaire posted on X, quote, "The Reform Party needs a new leader. Farage doesn't have what it takes." Bloomberg's Lizzie Burden joins me now. Why the sudden and pretty dramatic pivot then on Nigel Farage from Elon Musk, and do we care?
I mean, far be it from me
Dewey
to try and read the mind of
Car.
Elon Musk, Tom, but this, as you say, really is a U-turn, and it shows that Musk's becoming a headache not just to Keir Starmer, but to the right wing of British politics as well. It was only days ago that Farage's Reform UK was apparently the party that could be the only one to save Britain, and Musk and Farage recently went to Mar-a-Lago. You can see there, and you can see as well, Farage had been touting this big donation by Musk to his party. But now the question is whether Musk is going to back Tommy Robinson, this far-right activist, to be the Reform UK leader. You've had Musk talking about how Tommy Robinson,
I think he was
should
just
be released
arrested
from prison,
in Canada.
He's in for contempt of court.
Robinson.
Farage has distanced himself from Tommy Robinson, and we've reported that several senior politicians in the UK have been in touch with their links on the Republican right, warning them against endorsing Robinson, because they say, look, Robinson's particular hue of anti-immigrant politics just isn't supported by the mainstream right in Britain. But it's a big question, because at the moment Musk has only suggested the Reform MP Rupert Lowe should succeed Farage, so it's one we'll definitely be watching this week on X.
One of the animating factors for Musk seems to be this child abuse scandal and how it's been handled at the local level, but also now by the Labour leadership and a target on the back of Keir Starmer. That's where Musk has put it, at least politically speaking, of course. This seems to be an animating factor for Musk. What has the UK government been saying about that particular scandal, how they're handling it? Have they been on the defensive?
Well, the reason why this historic scandal has come back to the forefront of British politics is because Labour has rejected calls for a public inquiry into it. Musk has said that Starmer's complicit in the rape of Britain. But Starmer, of course, was head of the Crown Prosecution Service that began the prosecution of these grooming gangs in British towns. Starmer doesn't want to get dragged into some sort of soap opera battle with Elon Musk. So far, he's been brushing off Musk's attacks. When Musk said that civil war was inevitable during the summer riots, Starmer's been trying to rise above it, as he would see it. But it does raise the question of how the special relationship, quote unquote, between the US and the UK is going to play out under Trump and Starmer, which is an interesting question for the new UK ambassador to Washington, Lord Mandelson. Peter Mandelson, of course, a key Blairite in his day. He'd suggested previously that Farage should be some sort of bridge between Trump and Labour. But then you could ask whether it's any surprise that Musk is attacking Starmer when, previously you had the Foreign Secretary David Lammy, the Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner criticising Donald Trump. You've got Rachel Reeves, the Chancellor, and the Bank of England Governor Andrew Bailey jetting off to Beijing this week to go and try and woo China. Is it that Trump's attack dog is merely doing what you would expect him to do?
So TLDR is we do not go a single day, week without some sort of high-level political drama. Obviously, Musk being the world's publicly most wealthy person. I say that because we all know there's people with more money than Musk. But anyway, in terms of publicly reported wealth, we know that Musk is the most. And then also on top of that, not only does that in itself bring you quite a bit of influence, but then when you add in other aspects such as owning Twitter, which is now becoming really one of the most popular forms of media, you have Musk with a lot of influence, and obviously it is not just stopping in U.S. political scene, it is going over to our friends across the pond in the U.K. Biden signs bill to increase Social Security benefits for millions of public workers. You know what? Finally did something right on the way out. I, like many of you, watched some of the, Medal of Freedom things that he was doing over this past weekend, the Presidential Medal of Freedom, giving it to a lot of people that I think confused many of us. I mean, fairly so. But hey, I'll give credit where credit's due. This is actually looking pretty nice. I'm getting some alerts that the market's dropping a bit right now. Not much. Okay, actually, speaking of the market, let me just always take a step back. Remember, mid-January is seasonally bullish. It's not the most bullish time of the year, but I do want to remind you that over the past 20 to 30 years, up until about mid-Jan, from a seasonal perspective, it does tend to favor the bulls. And now if you want to look at it in a little bit more of the recent years, obviously the month of January is slightly bullish, but then if we're talking about the bullish weeks, we're actually in the most bullish week, once again, on a historic basis, this time 5 years. This is the most bullish week of January. Now, is that a guarantee just because I'm telling you historically it's bullish? No, because it's not 100% accurate. There's no such thing in the market that's 100% accurate, but this is something that obviously should be considered, and it is nicely aligning with just kind of some of these setups that we're seeing right here, the same low, but bouncing out, breaking above the previous high. So just wanted to call that to everyone's attention. Now, even though we know the seasonality is in favor of the bulls, obviously it is a macroeconomic announcement heavy week that should be considered. So today at 9:45, we get some global service PMI reports. We get the inflation report out of the Eurozone tomorrow. We get some non-manufacturing stuff tomorrow. We get JOLTS job openings. We have a normal initial jobless claims. The market's closed on Thursday, and then we have non-farm payroll on Friday. So it's a very important week on top of bond auctions, FOMC meeting minutes. So basically, every single trading day of this week, there's something important going down. U.S. yields hit a 14-month high before 119 billion of debt sales. So yields keep going up and up and up. Bonds are struggling. This definitely isn't good if you're trying to buy a home because rates are just remaining super, super high. But even if you look at something like the 20-year right here, TLT, bonds are just getting murked. And if you look at the yield curve, we're clearly in the positive territory. Remember, this is roughly like super highly correlated with the labor market and kind of unemployment. So as this shoots up, don't be surprised in the slightest if we see unemployment continuing to climb and climb and climb with it, as the yield curve itself is in this bullish steepening phase. Bringing it to individual equities, earnings season doesn't technically start this week, but Delta is one that people pay attention to. So that's before the market opens on Friday. Same with Walgreens. So I just wanted to call that out. But I think there's other more exciting individual equity news right now. And it kind of starts with semiconductors and specifically Nvidia. So let me get this set up. SMH. SMH is the ETF tracking semiconductors. So think about the grouping of Nvidia, AMD, Intel, Qualcomm, Micron, Broadcom, ASML, all those together. For quite a while, it's been really flat, and technically it hasn't broken out yet, but right now it is showing quite a bit of strength in pre-market trading. So I just wanted to show this to all of you, up about 2.5%, trading at 258 not long ago, all the way down at 236. And then this kind of brings more of the bell of the ball of what we're seeing with Nvidia. Nice trend line breakout, push to the upside, taking out the recent high on Tuesday, December 4th, taking out this high on Thursday, December 5th, potentially targeting this key level of 150, currently trading at 148. And then, of course, not that far away from the all-time high, just shy of 153. So not only are semiconductors kind of getting like some positive headwinds, or I said positive tailwinds with the overall market picking up, the SPY, the Qs, but there's also some legit news. Nvidia investors look to the CEO Jensen's CES speech to spark next breakout. I believe his speech, he is speaking today. CEO expected to speak at trade show today, Monday in Las Vegas. Focus will be on the sales outlook for Nvidia Blackwell chip. So there is a kind of a catalyst-based event that could be impacting the entire semiconductor sphere, but specifically Nvidia. So definitely one that I'll be watching today. Global chip stocks climb as Foxconn's bumper results show a continuation of the AI boom. So once again, another piece of news of why semiconductors are looking real good right now. The other one in this particular sphere that I want to just point out to you, and like I said, the whole sphere is looking pretty good, but check out ASML. Remember, they make the machinery for all the fabricators within this world. They're not all of it, but they make some of the most popular ones. Gapping up about 4.4%. Close out at 714, seems to be opening at 746. Might be taking out this recent high of 760. And this is one that I used to have calls on, don't at the moment, but I do have it in my long-term account, or let's call it my medium-term account, because I think there's a reasonable shot of this thing shooting back up into the 900. So those are just shares, and I'm happy to see this, but obviously I think there's a lot of room to to go. Now, if you haven't already, sign up for the trading Discord. You might be thinking to yourself, why? Well, because it is absolutely crushing. So on Friday, January the 3rd, my personal trades ended up making about 2.4 thousand. Piper once again crushed it, continuing her current streak. So the Piper strategy fired off around 11 in the morning, a little bit later. It was a bullish call out, 4 out of 5 confidence, which is a 2x multiple. The minimum size for this signal was 352. Obviously, you could scale this up for every $352 in your account to your heart's desire. It returned 48, which so for that credit sped was 100% return. I ended up playing it not on SPY. I played it on SPX because that's just the difference between American and European contracts. But anyway, I ended up selling 40 different put credit spreads, which is a bullish to neutral play. I targeted the 5880, and as you can see, I made about 2.4K, and that was my one major trade of the day. So that alone would have paid, if you agreed with the trade, would have paid for 4 years of access to the Discord. And once again, your first month is free. Pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. I highly recommend you all go to him because your first month is free. No harm, no foul. You get my trades, the Piper signal, all the previous lectures, access to all the people trading in there throughout the entire day. You get everything 100% for free. So I'm putting my money where my mouth is. There is no risk to you. If within the first month, if it's not for you, if it just doesn't work out, just cancel your account and you never had to pay anything, but you still get an advantage of of using and utilizing everything in there for the entire month. And even if you sign up and you're like, you know what, I don't want to be a premium member, which is called a supporter. If you just want to be a normal member, which is 100% free all the time, well, you still get access to a lot of great things, such as the newsletter comes out every single Sunday to your email inbox. I break down the previous week, what to look forward to in the upcoming week. I give you a quick look at all the earnings. Shout out to Earnings Whispers. I highlight all the key macroeconomic events, and probably most useful is I give you the individual seasonality of each trading day. So for today, Monday, January 6th, historically, as in the past 25 years, the bulls have won this day 60% of the time, 6-0. So basically 3 out of every 5 times the bulls end up winning this. But when the bears win it, it's with greater size, so the profit factor is neutral. So this is a look at the hypothetical equity curve. If you bought it open, sold it, closed on this individual day, it's kind of going nowhere. So it's not, basically, when I say neutral, that doesn't mean that anticipate the day to be choppy. Of course, the day might be choppy, but really what it means is I'm not taking seasonality into account on my 0 DTE trades. Later this week, you're going to see that over the past 5 years, we've actually had a nice little bullish, kind of uptick for this. So just wanted to call that out. And as of right now, Piper ended up crushing it in December, 67 for 73 units. She's currently on a 25 trade win streak. And for the first week of January, she went perfect 10 for 10 units. So obviously that's all stuff you can get for your first month for free. Just sign up. It's all on locals. Like I said, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. If you have any issues, reach out to me or the moderator, and we are more than happy to help you. Now, with that being said, let's break things down. So we just saw a little bit of a puke there at 9:15, a little bit of pre-market shenanigans. I don't think it's too much to be worried about, but let me get this all set up on the 1 minute. Obviously, some of our favorite tech names and whatnot are still holding perfectly fine. I don't know if there was an announcement or a decision, a Fed speaker. There are a lot of Fed speakers this week. Once again, that is going to be fully explained and articulated in that newsletter of when they're talking and all that good jazz. But look right here at 9:15 with 15 minutes to go for the market open. A little bit of a puke, lasted for about 2 minutes, and now we're just going sideways. So at this point, I'm just waiting for the world's largest casino to actually officially open. The 5 minute broke below that. I don't like that. The 10 minutes holding, so I do like that. 5 minute broke below, but 10 minutes holding. So I think the bulls are still in control. 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 4 hour, all bullish. 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 4 hour, all bullish. I just want to see this 5 minute on both the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ do a quick little recovery, which I think is going to be happening soon, but we'll see. Now, bringing it back to the SPX, I did break down some important levels that I want everyone to pay attention to. Here is where we are. We're slated to open somewhere up around here. I mean, the SPY's up how many dollars? It's up about 30. So we're scheduled to open up around 75, roughly where my cursor is. 70 is going to be a big support zone because that was a bullish breakout level on Friday. So I'll be looking for 70 to hold, but the real support is basically the high from Friday, which is also the downside gap fill at 59.50. So 59.70 is important. 59.50 is even more important support. Obviously, I would love it if we never tested it and we just went right up to 7,000. But in terms of upside targets, this is massive. 6,000 key technical level, key psychological level, key options level. There's a lot of open interest battling it out right there. So this, and maybe just a slight overshoot of it, 6,005, 6,010. As a zero DTE position, I'm not sure if I'd be looking for it to hold past that. Of course we can, and if we do, then I'd be targeting 6,040, 6,050, but that would be an extreme reach target, and it's by no means my base case. This is my main upward level target of the day, and these are my main support levels. Really, I know that if you look at the SPY, you're going to see that there's a pretty evident downside gap fill to 592.60, so that's something to consider. We know gaps do commonly get filled on the first day that they're there. So we're opening up at 595.54, and that leaves almost a $3 exactly downside gap fill to 592.60. So that's about a 30-point sell-off in SPX right from open. So it's an opportunity. It's not really my base case because I see quite a bit of strength across the board. But if we do dip all the way down there, maybe an interesting bullish opportunity to play the bounce off of it. And just so you know, there is an upside gap fill to 598.08, which is really interesting for two reasons. Not only is that potentially a trend line test and maybe leading to a breakout from this downsloping trend line, because that's right around 598, but 598.25 roughly aligns with SPX getting up to this 6,000 level. So there's a lot going on there, which is another reason why if we get here, I'm not sure if on today's alone, I'd be so greedy to hold it past it. So this is my upward level target, and it's a key one, and I can't stress this enough. Maybe, obviously, there's a non-zero chance that we do blow past it, but I think it's a very low chance, especially just with the volatility in the system remaining for the remainder of the week for all of those announcements. So I just want to call that out, but 6,000, it's aligning for various things, and that's roughly 598 on the SPY, 598 and some change, which is also the upside gap fill, and it's also this trend line. So that's some of the major bullish things I'm watching on a zero DTE perspective. Obviously, if you're paying attention to the cues, there's a downside gap fill to 519.64. We're opening up about 1%, pretty solid. I'm looking for the trend test. It's going to be roughly in the zone of the mid 524s, which is about 75 cents above where we are. And then I would love for this to take out 526.45. The Russell not looking as good. It puked pretty hard. Double bottom. We might be getting a double bottom reversal, kind of a W reversal. So watching that if you're in the small cap sector, and then bringing it to Bitcoin. I touched on this a little bit ago, a little fake out breakdown of that 50 EMA. Strong recovery, looking for the break and hold above 100,000. And in terms of individual equities that I think are must watches today, Nvidia, it's looking real good in pre-market, up about 2.8%. We know that Jensen, the CEO of Nvidia, will be speaking today at the conference in Las Vegas. We know there's a key level up here at 150, and we're not that far away from the all-time high. Tesla, beautiful recovery. We have Musk doing Musk things. We're coming up to this key level of the high 420s and roughly 430. 430 is where we see a lot of open interest, and it's also not that far away from this trend line breakout, which is a bit above. You could watch Broadcom, ASML, even Rumble is getting a quality bounce off this long-term trend line. So it broke above it, came down, retested, showing strength this morning. As of right now, and just granted, the market's not open quite yet, the bulls are in control. So I just want to see if they can remain in control throughout the day. We're going to come to this in a second, but obviously the opening bell in today's entire show is brought to you by Public. Sign up. It is free to download, free to sign up. There are no commission fees, no per contract fees. In fact, you earn a rebate for every single options contract you trade. I highly recommend it. It's my favorite place to trade options. And I think if you give it a whirl, it will be yours as well, because no matter where you are in your options trading career, you're theoretically better off on Public because of all the rebates, which are not available to you anywhere else. So on that note, dingity, ding, ding, ding. Welcome to the world's largest casino. Play responsibly, and if not, have fun, because remember, you can't take it with you when you go. I should also let you guys know right before stream, as I was waiting for you, I did take a long position on the NASDAQ. I was front running a little bit. I'm slightly underwater right now. But I just want to let you know that I'm long at 21,743. And the reason I did that was I thought I saw a good opportunity. I hate this 915 puke, but we'll see if I can get lucky regardless. As long as there isn't a ton of profit taking out of the gate, I think I should relatively easy hit my upward target. But I just like this. I mean, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 4 hour, all bullish. 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 4 hour, all bullish. I like the daily setup. I told you my key levels. I think this is quote unquote the easy play. I think the easy money trade is right up to 6,000, which is what I'm attempting to play. And that's exactly why I'm in this. And look at that. I'm up 400 every single account. And my target is 21,795. Granted, I'm just above break even. Maybe I get smashed. Maybe I don't. I'm going to start to employ some reasonable risk here. Like I said, that 915 sell-off kind of screwed me over a little bit, but not so much that I'm like completely in trouble. So I was green. Now I'm slightly red. This is my upward target just because that means I would make $1,000 per account, and I currently have 25 accounts. So that would be 25K for me, and I'm not going to complain about a 25K day. Let's get the 1 minute going here. Tesla, I would prefer that keeps going. In fact, I should check this out. Let me see how this account is going for me. I did have a lot of swing plays, which are looking great. These were all posted in real time in the Discord. This is another reason to get into the Discord. Currently up about $13,000, a nice $13,000 gap up. As you can see, I am bullish on Tesla, Nvidia, and the Qs. I'm waiting for this to update. These numbers haven't updated yet, but obviously these numbers have. So we're going to come back to that in a second because there's quite a bit of opening early morning volatility. But like I said, this is what I'm looking for. It's on the screen. I called it out. Like, I don't know what else to do for you folks. I'm giving you my game plan day in and day out. And with just a little bit of luck, with just a little bit of perseverance here, I might be able to get my $25,000 locked in before even 10 minutes into the market. I'm a big, coming down pretty quick there, Tonto. I'm personally a big fan of only having to work 10 minutes every single day. So let's see if we could pull that up. I got excited by this because I was like, okay, cool, new fresh high, couple minutes into the day. Are we going to get popping? Clearly, there's a bit of range. There's a bit of volatility. Let's see what we have in terms of the options flow early. Not much going on just because we only have a couple minutes worth of data. I could go over to the 5 second. All right, cool. We have this upward target. We're already at it. We're kind of at a tough zone. On a 0 DTE perspective, we are in positive gamma. We are in positive delta. So I think the insanity should be slowing down a little bit. But without further ado, am I going to do it? Come on. We're right there. No, dude. It feels like every time I come over to this screen, the market takes a hit. I feel like the market makers are watching me and they're like, is he on the screen? Okay, yeah, crush it. And then if I go off the screen, it goes in my favor. Is anyone else noticing that trend? It's like the market makers are specifically paying attention. Like they're trying to embarrass me and get that look on my face when it's going against me. So every time I come to the screen, they're like, nope, we got to drop it. All right, let me get my 25K. Let me get my 25 bands. You know, we got some bills to pay. Meow Mix it ain't cheap these days, folks. Just so you know, this play, the only reason I'm targeting 795 is because that's what perfectly makes me $1,000. Maybe it's a slight overshoot of $1,000 to cover commissions as well. It's not like I'm necessarily saying, oh, this is like the extent. Now, it might end up being the extent, but I just want to clarify, I have this profit target just because I want $1,000 on every account. So it's much more of a magnitude of profit rather than like, oh, I think this is going to be a big rejection level. It might end up being a big rejection level, but that's not really, I suppose, the specific plan on this. If I were smart, I would be putting in a stop loss at break even, but I don't think I'm going to. Come on. No. Is that real? Are they going to do me like that today? Bro. No way are these guys going to do me like that today. Oh, we're fighting this week. It's going to be, it's going to be one of those weeks. On the day of my daughter's birthday, this is how the market makers do it to me. The day of my daughter's wedding, this is how they do me. Dirty, 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 dirty. Look how just over a point away. I can't believe they did. I can't believe these fuckers did me like that. I'll remember that. When I become leader of the universe and I have my glove of 5 infinity stones and I'm Thanos snapping half of existing creatures away, I'm going to be targeting these people. I cannot believe they did that to me. I thought we were friends. I think I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. I just thought we were a little bit closer. I thought the market makers and I were a bit more friendly than apparently we are today. I had a misunderstanding of what our relationship is. They'll do anything. It's like a prank to them. They're like, anything we can do to embarrass Matt on his show, anything we can possibly do, we're going to, to them, it's funny. While in reality, it's the only way I can continually afford my sangria. This is my daily sangria bill right here. And they're doing me so dirty. Even that, it started to pick back up. And I thought, oh, all right, cool. Maybe it was just a joke among friends. But dude, they're kind of being I'll say it. They're being jerks about it. They're kind of being meanie heads. And I'm sorry to use French like that. I know there's kids listening to this show. But the market makers this morning out of the gate are being grade A meanie heads. I'm the fucking best ever. $25,000. Read it and weep. I never questioned it for a second. Never. There was not a doubt in my mind. The times that it might have sounded like there was a doubt in my mind, it was for theatrical purposes. And I'm just the fucking best, dude. It's a Monday. Happy Monday. Clock me out. I'm going on lunch. And I said under 10 minutes. It took me 8. 8 minutes of work today, dude. Bro. Done. Sign me up for lunch because I'm ready. Let's go get a cup of coffee, a slice of pie. None of that pumpkin stuff because the season's over. I want the real stuff. I want some apple pie right now. Done. Dunzo bunzo. I should clarify, this is still my upward target. If you're playing short-term stuff, there's going to be a lot of dancing around right here. So I think there's about another $1 upside in the SPY because there's about 10 points I'm seeing here in SPX, which is roughly $1 in the SPY. So I'm still kind of targeting 598. 598 is the zone, the upside major target. I'm seeing Tesla's taking a bit of a hit out of the gate. I'm seeing Nvidia's holding nicely. I'm seeing ASML's up a beautiful 5.5%. Rumble's up a solid 1.7. Coin's up 1.1. MSTR actually went red. Meta's up 1.2. Microsoft's up 1.2. And all that craziness, I believe Google had a technical breakout. Yes, it did. Look at Goog. The old Google is cooking. Higher right here. Beautiful. Look at Google right now. Higher highs, higher lows. Breakout, bull flag, lower highs, higher lows, breaks out, takes out this recent high. The obvious, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Google's looking good. I don't have a position on Google, but I just want to call this out to you. It doesn't get much easier than that. So not only do you have a technical breakout and a clear target, but obviously it's in line with the movement of the overall market. And actually, right here, I should note that the Qs are trying to get a daily trend breakout, which is beautiful. Microsoft's looking good. In fact, the only thing in pre-market or the first 10 minutes of trading that's not crushing it kind of is Tesla, but it is what it is. How's my account looking? I'm up about 12K right now. This is not updating for some reason. Obviously, I am green. So these numbers are right. These numbers are incorrect at the moment. I don't know what's going on. I'll have to figure that out. Nvidia is pumping. Like I say, key test is 150. 150. You want to know why 150 is incredibly important? Because if you use spot gamma, come over to Equity Hub, type in Nvidia, and then look at, where is it? Where is it? I'll find you. You could just see that 150 right here. Here, let me try to center this a little bit better. Okay, that's obviously not working. Quite a bit of call gamma there. So when people have a bunch of long calls and then they go in the money from out of the money to in the money, there is a good chance that they end up monetizing it. So 150 key technical level, key psychological level, and now a key options level on Nvidia. And if you want to know the similar on Tesla, the closest one is about 430. Where are we right now? Where's 430? Right here. That's this big. Oh, okay, cool. I just got to fill folks, for those of you in the Discord, my most recent salad bar trade just got a fill. SPY's going, Qs are going. I'm telling you, I'm giving you the exact game plan. Watch this. This is the big test level. Why is it a big test level? Because there's a shitload of things going on there. So this is a huge call zone. So it can push past it if a bunch of calls come in. So for this to continue upward, exactly what you're going to want to see is a bunch of 0 DTE calls ripping it. And they had a nice bounce from 940 until now, granted. And then if we look at the underlying, they're actually selling off. So that is kind of suggestive of some profit taking, which we could, right here. People are taking profits on their calls. That's the orange line going down. If we look at the tech sector, same thing. People are locking in profits right as we're coming up to this. So be careful about being greedy. I have no crystal ball. I cannot tell you what's about to happen, but if you start to see some weakness in price, that would be in alignment with what we're seeing in the underlying. Look there is a lot of profit taking in longer duration calls. Now, this might be momentary because we're only 12 minutes of trading. We have a non-manufacturing report coming out in 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and that might send things even higher. But I cannot stress to you enough how incredibly important this is. Maybe another way I can attempt to stress it. Let me reload this. So this is the volume. You can see a lot of people are selling calls at 6,010, 6,015, as in they don't think it's going above it. That's a lot of sold calls. And then right here, with respect to the open interest, we're coming right up to this peak at 6,000. So there's a lot of open interest at 6,000. The volume on the day, a ton of people are selling 610 and 615. They sold 650, 645. Now, obviously, if we leapfrog it, these people are going to make a killing today at 6,090, but that's a big if. And we're also just coming up to this is just a huge reaction zone. I can make no promises. All I can tell you is if I start to see even like a short-term breakdown and I was playing a 0 DTE, like if I saw the super trend break or even just a fresh low or maybe even a trend line snap, I would ride the trend as long as a very short-term trend is intact. But if I saw like this trend line go, or if I saw options continue to vomit, I would just pull the ripcord. Now, obviously, you guys saw that I already locked in my particular trade just because I wanted to max it out at 1,000 just because of various consistency rules. Ooh, I'm up $69,000. Nice. LOL. Or I'm not up. My accounts are at 69. Dude, if I was up $69,000 in 20 different accounts, up 1.4 mil, I would be losing my mind. I would be on lunch every single day. I would never not be on lunch. I would always be on lunch. I see you guys are talking about Fubo. So the issue with trying to trade deals like this is it's already announced. It's the entire concept of buy the rumor, sell the news. Don't chase it. If you're getting into Fubo now, you're the sucker. The winners got in before the announcement. I find with retail traders, there's too many people who are not first of all, you shouldn't be trading shit penny stocks. And second of all, don't be the one trading after the news. You're already trading on the thing that moved the stock. You want to be in before the thing that moves the stock. So I see a lot of people talking about Fubo, but that's not a good way to like really approach the market. You want to be in beforehand. And first of all, I wouldn't even touch this one because it's a shit penny stock. Like there's too much. If you're talking about penny stocks, you should, the real edge in penny stocks is to short them. It is very, very rare that you find someone who is continually successful, as in continually profitable, buying penny stocks, being bullish and going long penny stocks. Folks, penny stocks are penny stocks for the reason, because they suck ass. So maybe you get lucky every once in a while, but as a repeatable methodology, you have to ask yourself, are you a trader or a one-time gambler? If you're a one-time gambler, have at it. Best of luck. I hope you make money. But as a trader, as a person looking for a repeatable edge that you can exploit time and time again, it is very rare you find someone who can do that being bullish on penny stocks. When it comes to penny stocks, the real edge for most people, for most successful people, this is not a like end all be all statement, but it is catching most people. We're casting a large net right now. It is gonna be to be against it. But once again, read the news. You're not understanding. The fact that the news is already out means it's already digested. What's the point in trading on that news now? You're proving my point. You're saying, Matt, read the news. The fucking news is out, dude. It's out. It's now already fully baked into price. So you're asking yourself, what's going to push it for the next one? Which that's when you have to start coming up with a trading thesis or methodology or something like that. I'm going to open short positions on Carvana puts. Is today a good entry? CVNA. I don't think I would. No. People bought calls and they're selling puts. Why would you be buying puts when people are selling puts? Why would you be buying puts when people are buying calls? I wouldn't. No, you're fighting that trend. What about, let's see what else is going on. And it's also, well, it's expensive. So that you're buying, oh, wait, you're going to open short. You mean you're going to buy puts? You're going to go long puts? Well, are you going short or are you buying puts? Those are two completely different things. Going short and buying puts, like you have to, I don't know. I wouldn't buy puts because they're expensive. You're paying too much money and you're also fighting the trend. A short position is a bit of a different story, like a legit short position. Your risk is far away. It's a high risk reward position because you might be able to ride it down to 124. But what's your risk? Are you risking like 213? So I guess be careful with your risk, guys. I wouldn't be buying puts right now just because you're paying too much money for the puts and you're also fighting the current intraday trend of options. People are buying calls and they're selling puts. So I think fighting the trend is a silly thing to do. Now, if you're actually going to go short, it's a wide risk. So I guess if you like it, you'd have to play smaller. But obviously, there's a nice, if you're right, there's a big reward. There's a big potential reward to it. So it's not my favorite play, but I think you're confusing. I'm going to open short positions on Carvana puts. Like a put is not a short position. Those are, you have to know the differences there. You can benefit in both situations from a large sell-off, but each one has different things that you have to consider. If I had to play this, I would personally prefer to buy, to open a short position rather than buying puts if I had to play this, but I don't like this play enough in a general sense. I would have preferred to get in recently, closer to the Hindenburg update rather than now. So I wouldn't play it at all in reality, but if I had to, I would rather have a legit short position rather than buying puts because you're fighting the options trend. And once again, you are paying too much money. Right now, premium is overvalued. Okay, wait, coming back to this, we're right at that level that I was talking about. So if I had a bullish trend following position right now, which I kind of do because I'm in the queues. Oh, check this out. 5.8K, 2.5K, and 10K. Folks, this is posted in real time in the Discord. Sign up for the Discord. It's pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video. You can get these plays in real time as I do them. Ask anyone in the Discord if I post them as soon as I make them. The Discord is paying for itself between the other people in there, the great community, all the previous lectures, the trades, but mostly it's the knowledge of there and bouncing ideas off of each other. I would argue that's the best thing. But if you follow the link at the top of the screen right now, your first month's free. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. Try it out for a month. If you don't like it, cancel within the first month, and you never got charged anything anyway. It is truly a riskless free month for you. If you like it, stick around. I think you're going to want to stick around because there's shit like this, 10K, 3K, 6K, paying for, what is that in general? 10K, 12K, you have 19K. So $19,000 divided by 60 is how many months these trades paid for. So that's awesome. People are saying Bitcoin's break. Oop, hang on. Okay, so Bitcoin, dingity ding ding ding, that is having a nice breakout. This is what I'm worried about, is if SPX doesn't hold here. This is a huge battleground. Hero. Yep, and we're seeing some delta fall off. Right now, people are starting to buy a little bit of puts, but more so they're monetizing calls. Interesting. If it doesn't come back quick, yeah, this might be the upward extent of the day. I don't know. All I can tell you is I know there's a big battle right here. 6,005, 10, like this is kind of the zone. It's moving up a little bit. Let me reload that. Let's look at the volume. I know a lot of people do not want SPX to conclude today above 6,010 or 6,015. This downward area, the downward yellow area, is sold calls. Those are sold calls, as in they want us to end the day below it. And they very much want us to end the day below 6,050. And that's on a 0DT perspective. It's not actually the highest open interest. We have the most open interest at 6,150. We don't need that. 25 is the expected range. This is getting interesting. If this is going to hold or not. No one on this planet can tell you if this will or won't hold. No one can definitively tell you with 100% accuracy if you should be going long here or if you should be going short here. Because remember, this price movement, whether we continue to the upside or if we continue to the downside, it's decided by future trades. In 5 seconds from now, in 5 minutes from now, in 15 minutes from now, people are deciding to buy and sell. If there's more buyers than sellers, if there's more aggressive buyers than sellers, we go up. If there's more aggressive sellers than buyers, we go down. The future price movement it's decided by future trades. So because what's actually moving the market is unknown, i.e. those future trades, well, you have to kind of just sit and understand that there's no such thing as 100%. So with this, all I could tell you, like I did beforehand, was this was the major target. That was my target number one. Target number two, I would just cut 6,010 and 6,015 in half, maybe like 612, like 6,012.5, like we'll cut it in half and maybe that's like my target two. But from here, after I hit my targets, then I just do basic trend following. As long as I see higher highs and higher lows, I ride it. If the trend's breaking down, I get out. And then I double check to see, okay, are options agreeing with me? Well, no, not so much. They kind of look jagged. They just popped up, which is good. What actually happened? People covered puts and bought calls, but now that's being, I don't know. There's not a nice trend to this. It looks very jagged and whipsaw. For the things that make this up, there's a lot of monetization. People are selling calls into this. I cannot stress this enough. This is not a day where you want to be unabashedly bullish, because not only are we at a key level, and I know it's looking good, and I know this is crazy for me to say, but people are selling calls. They are not buying longer dated calls. In the short term, they're saying, okay, like they're just locking in money. We're not seeing that continued aggressive bullishness. And I mean, here, I'll go through some of the major ones. Nvidia, selling calls. People are not buying calls here. Tesla. People are, well, they were buying some puts. Now they're covering the puts. But anyway, they were selling calls all morning. Microsoft. Actually, they are buying calls on Microsoft, oddly enough. Apple. I'm just going through some of these majors. Hello? Apple? You going to show me what's going on with Apple? Apple's kind of flat, not really doing anything. Meta, they were buying calls. Now they're kind of going flat. I see some people talking about coin because crypto's up. So let's see what coin is doing. Coin is strong. Coin is noteworthy in its strength. I know coin is up. People are saying 5% right now. And see, this is one where the price action also agrees with what the underlying market is telling us. So coin's up 5%. Look at that recovery. Here's the daily. Nice technical breakout from that high on Tuesday, December 24th, taking out 284. Next natural level is 300. That's a key technical level. But what I find really impressive is look at the aggression on the calls. No one's touching puts and they're buying calls. That's a lot of aggression. And then if you really want to dive into it, we can see what levels they are specifically targeting for this Friday. Hello? Why is that not working? Why am I stupid or something? Hello? How did I mess this up? Mom? Okay, I don't know what I was doing on that other one. 285 is an important one for open interest. Let's expand this a little bit more. 9. The next one is actually all the way up at 305. So you don't have to, if you're riding this trend and you're like, oh, 300 is important, the big level is actually 305, which my big head is covering right now. But this right here is 305. That's the interesting one. Why in the world? Oh, I know what I did. Vol MBS. Okay, I just keep typing everything wrong. This is so embarrassing. All right, dude, I am messing up everything today. Why am I such a fuck up? All right, we're seeing a lot of people open up levels at 290, 250 for in terms of volume today. The open interest has quite a bit going on at 305. Once again, that's all for coin. This is back to SPX now. All right, let me just save that for a second. Yeah, coin's pretty impressive. We might as well look at MSTR while we're here. MSTR, they're buying calls and closing puts, so that's the double whammy. That's pretty bullish as well. What is happening on the SPY? Tesla, not as impressive as I would like it to be. I kind of wanted it battling up at I wanted it to hold 425 today and really push 430. But in terms of the overall market, my major watch is still, are we holding 6,000? Yes or no? So in the very short term, as in the 1 minute, higher highs, higher lows, I like that. I'm watching 6,000, key technical level, key psychological level, key options level, and I'm watching this trend line. If we broke and closed below this trend line and I had a 0 DTE, I would just take my profits and like come back tomorrow. People are calling out Reddit, RDDT, not doing anything that impressive. How's the daily? Oh, the daily looks good. You're chasing at this point. The most recent entry was on Friday on this recovery with the risk being at 155. You're buying the break of 169 and now your risk is like 167. I wouldn't chase it here. Chasing at all-time highs is not a good idea. If you're already in it, great, ride the trend. Higher highs, higher lows. It's totally bullish. But just because something's bullish doesn't mean it's a good time to buy it. So Reddit is looking good. Fully agree. It's just I don't see a trade opportunity. I wouldn't short it because it's too strong, and I wouldn't go long because my risk is too far away. How's Broadcom looking? Broadcom, dude, I probably should have held Broadcom. I'm watching... This is one of my main watches on the week of will Broadcom break out. ASML's looking like a fucking champ. An absolute champ of a stock right now. Rumble's holding green. Coin's looking good. MSTR not as good, but still good. Meta's giving back some of those gains. Microsoft's coming back to the top of this like consolidation wedge where there was a fake out breakout. Apple's not doing anything. DJT is catching a nice, decent bounce. If you're playing the short term on DJT, which I do believe is an interesting play because of the upcoming inauguration, we have almost a short term little breakout right there. So I'd be watching this. Like, it's actually breaking out in real time. Not that bad of risk. If I bought now, which I don't currently have an active position, but I do like it. Risk of 33. You're targeting 37. Past that, 39. Targeting past that, 40. But there's a breakout occurring in real time on DJT. Palantir's not doing much today. CrowdStrike trying to break out again. Not my favorite play. It's not a bad play. This breakout, but I think there's just more exciting opportunity. Amazon recapturing the trend line the same way Nvidia did, the same way Google's actively doing right here. Google and Amazon looking pretty similar. Palo Alto Network going completely the opposite way, showing some weakness as the rest is showing strength. I just got a breakout alert on the entire semiconductor space. This is very good for Nvidia, Broadcom, ASML. This is the whole sector. It's breaking out right now. Next target is this upside gap fill at almost 271, 270 and some change. Netflix not really doing much. Cores back up to its trend line. Texas Roadhouse attempting to recover. Bonds looking like shit. Oil looking very impressive. Finally, Warren Buffett is getting a bit of a reprieve in his Oxy position. Warren Buffett's been bullish on this bad boy since like the 60s or 70s. So he's loving this recovery. You have gold not doing much. The yield curve is going higher and higher and higher. Solana holding its breakout. Ripple going flat after a nice push. That's pretty much the skinny on the situation. All eyes are on SPX either holding or not holding. Let me go to the 3-minute on all this stuff, clean this up a bit. I would prefer that Tesla get going the other fucking way. I don't know what's going on with Tesla right now. I really thought this would have a nice expansive move to the upside. Man, Broadcom, AV, these are looking good right now. Looking good. I can't bring myself to buy calls on ASML or AVGO right now, just because I don't know if we're going to hold this on SPY. And if SPY doesn't hold, most likely the Qs aren't going to hold their breakout level at 526. So I kind of have to wait just for a little bit more confirmation of, are we getting out of this no man's land or not? Like, just kind of waiting. If you're looking for a short-term play, let's say, let's go something like this, the 15-second. I would say this trend line breakout, for those of you who are maybe on like Apex or something like that, actually it might be happening in real time right now. Oddly enough. Yeah. I actually like this play. If I had to if I had more upside profit that I could be going for today, I would be highly interested in taking this bull flag breakout. So as soon as we push and hold above, we'll call it 21,833, 35, something like that, risking the recent low, looking for the breakout and run of the intraday high. This is exactly what I'd be looking for, because it's in phase. The 5-minute, 10-minute, 30-minute, 4 hours all bullish, 5-minute, 10-minute, 30-minute, 4 hours all bullish. The daily chart's bullish. This would be my trade. And the only reason I'm not taking it is because I already did my trade on the day, and I'm trying to be a bit more disciplined. And as soon as I have one good trade, I'm just trying to call it a day. But if my rule was to do 2 good trades on the day, I like this trade. This trend line break and hold, roughly, we'll just call it 35. If it breaks and holds 835, that would be my entry. My risk would either be 07 or 91. So it would look a little something like this. This ditty would sound a little something like this. Okay, I almost would have gotten in. It didn't hit 35 yet, but it got really close. So this would be my entry. That would be my entry if we get there. Has not occurred quite yet. If I want to be a bit more wide with my risk, I would use 792. If I want to be a bit more conservative, I would use 807. I would be looking for the test and break of 4875. So as of right now, this trade has not triggered because we have not taken out 35. Actually, I'm looking at some other stuff. It'd be closer to 37 would be my entry. So that would be the entry, 37. So a break and hold of 37, that's how I'd be playing this. So I would be waiting and waiting and waiting for this to happen. If it does happen, I don't know if it will, but that's the trade setup I would be looking for. The tech sector is going a little bit flat as the SPY is continuing to push higher. I wonder why that is. What's going on here? What's going on? Utilities, Nvidia's green, Google's green, healthcare, financials. I wonder in the short term, is it something in the options market? With respect to these gamma levels, we're above 6,000. 6,025 is the spot gamma implied one-day high. Let's go over to the net OI. It looks like there's a bunch of sold calls at 6,040. There is a weird call set up here at 5,970, 75, and 65. Then there's also a put credit spread at 5,965. I actually really like this play. The person who sold 5,965 puts, and then their protective leg is 5,960. So there's a put credit spread there. I don't know if these are paired together. I'm looking at the orange ones. I don't know if they're paired together or individual, so I can't really make a comment on that. And then it looks like there's a bit of a call credit spread all the way up here at 6,040, spread by 45. So anyway, for those of you, we could talk about this. I find the best way to learn about trading is to talk about things in real time. This is the trade I would be looking for if I was antsy in my pantsies for trading the NASDAQ. I would go long at 37. I would be looking for this breakout, and here would be my associated risk levels, whether I want wide risk or closer risk. Once again, the entry for said trade has not triggered quite yet, but I do believe that it's not that far away from occurring. I need to watch Tesla because Tesla's kind of screwing me right now. What's going on, Tesla? Why is it doing this? On the day of my daughter's wedding. All right, that's the trade on NASDAQ. If you're looking for like an Apex trade or a futures trade or whatever, or even a Qs trade. Interesting. Piper hasn't fired either. I'm just seeing some... I think it's because we're getting so stalled out right here. I'm surprised Piper hasn't fired quite yet. I think the market's starting... Piper's attempting to wait to see what's going on because on Friday did not fire until, I believe, 11 a.m. We're going to see. All right. I'm just getting things set up for this. Qs are tilting a little bit. Nvidia is looking great. Tesla, not so much. Bitcoin is almost pushing to 101,000. Nvidia is catching another bid. How is my account looking? Still pretty solid. Nvidia is up 90% today. Well, Tesla's only up 9.8, but my Qs plays is up 84. So 5K, 2.8, and 8.3. Tesla was up more. Tesla was up at 10,000 at one point today. So Tesla is definitely leaving a little bit to be desired in my book. So I wouldn't mind this trend line getting taken out on old Tesla. Nvidia is looking long and strong. Broadcom's flat. ASML is looking good. Rumble's looking good. Up 43 cents right now. Rumble's crushing it. This trade once again has not triggered, but I'd be waiting. I could just set this alert. This alert would be the long trigger. Let me make sure this is what my system is still signaling. It is, yeah. Long at 37. At this point, I would just be probably using 800 as my core risk. This would probably be my setup if I was trading the NASDAQ. Just waiting. I'd be patient. Patient. Let's look at this flow. Options are kind of like jagged but flat. Like we pushed, we vomited, we pushed, and this is for the index itself. The things that make up the index are still getting hit. I find that concerning because we're seeing a lot of people who are saying, hey, I'm more than willing to lock in my profits, but we're not seeing enough people step up saying, hey, I am actually willing to buy calls and be aggressive. So this call sell-off, I find I just want more bulls to step back in. We're seeing that in the large tech space as well. A lot of calls being sold. That is removing deltas from the system. So it's not as crazy bullish as maybe the price action will have you believe. That's quite a bit of call selling. And so when I see all the call selling on the things that make up the indices, and then when I see the index bets themselves just being kind of messed up, it just tells me to wait. Like, this still might end up being beautifully bullish, and I hope it is, because that's the way I'm playing it. But it's just at this moment in time, there's things to consider. But my theoretical trade would about to fire. And like I said, this is the best way to teach, is talking about things in real time when you don't know what the next bar is. There's too many furus and gurus out there who are talking about this stuff with hindsight bias like behind them. And they're like, oh yeah, no, this is how I would have played it. But they know how the whole chart played out. So they're miraculously always amazing at it. When in reality, real trading and the hindsight bias are not similar whatsoever. See how this, like, we still just, it's getting knocked. Something, my spidey senses. I'm not liking Tesla there. The Qs took a little bit of a hit. Options are just got smoked in the short term. Look at that drop off. Where's SPX at? All right, so that alert is set. If it ever actually fires, it never fired. I never would have gotten in. This is what I was saying. Remember how I was calling out 612.50. It got up to 610, and now we're all the way back down to 6,000. This is we just have to watch to see if it does or doesn't hold 6,000. Incredibly important right here. We're just past the turn of the hour. Just past it. The SPY made a high just now, but the Qs did not. And I'm seeing, dude, Tesla is getting smashed. What the fuck, Tesla? Tesla, I'm break even on the day, but up 78% overall. And that's around 412. All right, I'm going to give it a second, but if this keeps going on Tesla, I'm just taking my money and running. I'm saying thank you, and I'll see you later. I definitely, I mean, with the Qs being this strong, Tesla's been nothing. Ooh, big pop right back. Big pop right back. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Would I be moving? I think this recovery, would I have been tempted to go long? I'm still holding this 37 concept, but this was a weird puke in recovery. Obviously, your risk would now be updated to 780 if you do take a long. I do like it. Maybe a potential fake out breakdown. I'm going to keep this at 37, though. It does really widen your range of what you would have to theoretically risk, but I think a push and a hold, 35, 36, 37, I think that's all pretty reasonable. So not technically triggered yet, but it got hit, recovered. Nvidia is still looking great. Nvidia's at 151, taking out some key open interest levels, in fact. So we might be talking about, I'm just kind of watching this because I think the theoretical trigger, entry trigger is going to be going off soon. But I do want to show you, we might be talking about an all-time high on Nvidia today. Like, that's not out of question. We're trading at 151. The all-time high is 152.89. So I'm going to set an alert on that, just in case Nvidia like really gets going there. There's also a downside gap fill to 145. Tesla, I think it got its gap fill. I don't know why. It's just getting smacked hard at 430. Broadcom, I want that trend line breakout. ASML, like I said, looking like a champ. Looking like a champ. Is this going to trigger yet? I was on the 15 second. Yeah. Pretty much. I think this is about to go. So once again, to be very clear, I am not taking this trade, but I think this is a high quality. Okay, so you would be in now at 37 if you agreed with this trade. If you want to, the most extreme risk you could use, I would say 780. If you want to be a bit more conservative, you could use 816. I'd be looking for the test and breakout of 48. But I want to talk about this trade in real time as if I took it, because I don't know the next bars. I clearly don't know the next bars, but that would have been my entry. Maybe not an A+ setup, because the no, it might It's either an A or an A plus setup. This trade I absolutely love. And 47, by the time it gets up to like 70, where my cursor is all the way up here, I would be setting my stop to break even, so I risk no money. Like, this is a quality setup. Now, when we first started talking about it, it was all the way back here. Obviously, it forced us to wait another 10 minutes, but hey, that happened. You have the entry at 37. You're looking for the breakout and hold of 48. We'll just call it 50. You're either risking 16 or 80. The fact that we already made a new intraday high, I would no longer be using 80 as my risk. I would be using 1650 as my risk. So here's my entry, here's my risk, and by the time we hit 70, I'd be moving my stop to break even, and then I have a lotto play to ride this for the rest of the day. That's it. Simple. Seriously, name another trading quote unquote personality or talking head that is doing this stuff in real time, talking about it, and not just doing like this Monday morning quarterbacking, talking about dumb shit like we're just gonna squeeze. This is actual trade. This is how you do it. This is how you pull off the things where you're consistently making money and ideally following rules that continually push your account higher and higher and higher. Sometimes it's boring and you have to wait for it. It's not always glamorous, but I mean, I would take an unglamorous, I guess, day and just make money rather than a glamorous day that ends up losing me money. But that's my personal opinion on it. So anyway, as of right now, theoretically in at 37, when it hits 70, which I do think it will, I'm moving my stop to break even. And right now my stop's set to 1650. That's the trade. That is the trade. I don't know how things are going. It's the one thing I don't necessarily absolutely love about this trade. Oh, well, even call started. Whoa, we got to find this out. Someone on a tech name started to buy a serious amount of longer dated stuff here. Who was it? Was it Nvidia? No, it wasn't Nvidia. Was it Microsoft? No, it wasn't Microsoft. Was it Apple? Someone is now aggressively buying Apple. Two different big chunks of Apple bullishness. We might as well check Google. Google, there was a big bounce too. It's kind of getting reverted now, but someone splashed the pot for longer dated stuff on Google and Apple. How's Tesla looking? Tesla, I mean, maybe there's a bounce here, but I've just been getting beat up this morning on this bad boy. I wouldn't be stopped out yet because I didn't move to break even. Like I said, my risk is 1650. My current risk is 1650. If you wanted to, like if you're a nervous Nelly trader, if we take out 58, it's completely acceptable to move your risk up to 32. And then you're really like minimizing your risk on the trade. Once again, this gold yellow line would be the theoretical entry of the trade that I really like. And we're kind of talking about the management of it. But the way this is now structuring, if we push 58 right here, which we're not that far away from, completely acceptable to move your risk from 1650 all the way up to 32, because then you're risking 5 points, which means you're only risking $100, which is still a pretty favorable trade. And still, by the time we get to 70, I'd be moving my own risk up to break even, and then you have a lotto ticket. I'm very much of the mindset, okay, the fact that we just made this new high, I'd be moving my risk to 32. So now at most, I'm only risking 5 points. And then a little bit more of a push, and now I'm no longer risking anything. So this trade that I've called out to you step by step before it happened, as it's happening, and as I'm doing the management, this is it. And once again, I don't know the next bar. I'm doing this live with you. The market makers didn't call me up this morning and say, hey, this is exactly how we're running things. But this is exactly how I view the market. And obviously there's many things in the background going on that are giving me this bullish bias. For example, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 4 hour all bullish, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 4 hour all bullish. We broke down all the key levels. We know what's going on the daily, but this trade, especially future traders, or if you took it with QQQ, 0 DTE calls, or if you sold puts, these are the things that I'd be paying attention to myself and saying, okay, like this is exactly how I'm handling it. Tesla's going to break the trend line. I freaking hope so, dude. I freaking hope so. What is the... All right, I need to sell some premium myself here. 80. Piper just fired. If you're in the Discord, Piper just fired, but I have not sold premium myself because I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I'm still kind of trying to talk through this trade with all of you guys as it's playing out. So right now, I don't really need this upper target, and we also don't really need this alert being set. So the theoretical entry is at 37, risking 32.25, so not much risk. By the time we hit 70, I'd be moving my stop up to break even. Yeah, I'd just be waiting for this push to 70. And then I'd say, okay, cool, lotto ticket. I'd be moving my stop to 37.25, and then I would just see if I could catch the trend and see how it's going. ADA about to moon, look at the daily. Nothing about the previous price action tells you if something's going to moon. Remember, previous price action, it's done. It's no longer impactful. I find that confusing is when people look at it, they're like, based on previous trades, I can tell this is about to do well. Like it's just inherently the wrong way to look at price, because remember, future price in this example, what you're referring to as a moon, is decided by upcoming traders. When you're looking at a chart, that was all decided by previous traders. Those are two different groups of traders. So this idea of like Cardano's about to moon, look at the daily, that's just not the market. That sounds cool to say. Like if you want to be in the tribe of like, look at, I like this thing as much as you like it. We're going to squeeze. It looks great. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Yeah, cool. That's a fun thing to shout. It is, for sure. But does it actually make sense? Absolutely not. There's no quantitative or qualitative validity to it. It's illogical. Then why do you look at all-time highs as something to trade off of? Because I'm expecting other traders to react to that level. So I'm expecting a reaction there because I know other traders are looking at that of like, okay, this is resistance, or like, let's say there's a lot of open interest, but that has nothing to do. That's a level I'm looking for as reaction, not of, oh, I'm predicting that we're going to like break through and moon. Like nothing about historic price action tells you mooning. It tells you, okay, so we just hit 70, so my stop would be break even. So now I just gave you guys all a free lotto trade. Like you are no longer taking any risk. Your worst case scenario is break even, and you are currently up $400 per NQ contract with no risk. That's it. You took risk initially. I shouldn't say you didn't have risk to begin with. But the entry was right here at just before 10:14. You were green. You took a little bit of heat on a push. You took on minimal risk. And now on this push, you're break even. You have a free trade now. As in the worst case scenario should be break even. And as it continues to trend higher and higher and higher, you can continue to move this up and up and up. By the time we hit 90, right here where my cursor is, I'd be moving my stop to 50 or maybe like 49. So if we hit 90, my stop would be at 49. So then you're up guaranteed $200 worth of profit. So no matter what, I would not be losing money on this trade. If moon means $1.30 for Cardano, yeah. I mean, fractals are a thing though. Once again, these are fractals on the screen right now. That's a fractal. These are called Williams fractals. They just tell you about the current trend. They don't tell you about if something's about to moon. Remember, that's all decided in real time from active traders. There's I don't know. I think there's a lot of people in the retail space that don't understand what the market truly is and how to view it. There's no such thing as like a predictive model that tells you what's about to happen. It's always just a game of odds, and it's never 0 or 100. You're somewhere between 1 and 99. There's a certain probabilistic nature of something happening, and with that probability at that moment in time, are you okay with the current risk to reward setup? That's it. So this idea of like, oh, no, it's gonna, you don't know that. There's nothing that's ever guaranteed. And the definitive way that I know the average person is looking at this market incorrectly is because I know 90 to 95% of retail traders lose money actively trading. So if you're doing what is easily found on Twitter, on the internet, anything like that, you're going to lose, because we already know like the normal thing loses people money. The normal sheep herd of retail traders lose money. You have to be doing something different. You have to. Only guaranteed way I know to make money is to bet on the Buffalo Bills to win the Super Bowl. Let's go. Hashtag Bills Mafia. Everything is borrowed, even tomorrow. That's deeply philosophical, but yeah, sure, I'll bite. I agree. Why not? So, nope, it's going to be the Lions. Dude, I was really holding out for the Bengals, but the fact that the Chiefs got demolished because they weren't putting in any of their starters. And obviously, Bo Nix also, he's been having a great rookie year. But I wanted to see Joe in there because he's been on a hot streak lately. And I thought he could give the Chiefs finally a taste of their own medicine. Dude, if we have another Chiefs Super Bowl, I'm going to be so incredibly pissed off. Like, it's just getting so tiresome and so incredibly boring. Hang on. I need to switch this up. Maybe I should be selling some of my own premium today. Dude, there's just not. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Do I even, like, see, this is starting to go now. But then this is picking up. Equity started picking up at 10:12. Mag 7 right here. There was a turn right past the hour where we started to see strength. Am I forcing a trade right now? Nvidia is really going. Tesla, maybe a fake out breakout. On the NQ trade, I would still be in it if I took it. Remember, it's trading at 63. The entry from me would have been at 37, and I would have been at break even. So I'm not risking anything. If it reverts to 37, I might be out. Really? Is this shit actually going to push? What time is it? It's 10:27. Oh, man. I'm just trying to figure out if I want to sell premium today, because the premium I want to sell isn't trading for that much. And we're kind of in a danger zone. I'm like, I'm going to feel stupid if I sell premium and this is the exact moment we revert. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Let me check. Let me check. Let me cook. Let SPX. Hang on, I need to check something in SPX. Where are we at? Where are we at? How do I jump all the way to the newest one? Oh, man. Vol. Well, there's no fucking way we're going all the way up there today, are we? Do I just do it? Do I just do it? I don't know. I don't even know if I like this trade. I'm going to really size down today. I'm just not the biggest fan of this setup. Honestly, I don't even know if I'm going to get my fill on this. I don't even know if I'm going to get a fill. All right. I took a trade, as you heard from that ding. Way smaller than at least I was trading on Friday and whatnot. It's just, I don't know, a little something just to give me, I'll pay attention to it for the remainder of the day here. I'm putting this in the Discord right now. Putting this in the Discord. And I think I'm pretty much now done on the day because I sold premium. That's uploaded. I'm already done with my futures trades. You guys saw that, locked in 25K there. And with respect to my swing trades, this is how I'm looking. I'm up about 17.8K today, unrealized, 9.7K, 4.7K, and 6.9. So it's all unrealized. It might get better. Obviously, it also might get worse. I don't know. But like I said, this is the best place to trade options. If you're an options trader or an aspiring options trader, I'm telling you, get on Public. There's no other place that gives you rebates. I feel like I have to shake people like a baby to understand how good of a brokerage this is. So unlike these other brokerages that are more than happy to take all your payment for order flow and treat you like crap, Public for years has put you, the client, first. And I lived through all the craziness of 2021, and Public was the one that was like, whoa, this payment for order flow is an issue. So yes, they have equities trading. They don't engage in payment for order flow. Yes, they have options trading. You can earn a rebate. Name another brokerage that does that. They have some of the best UI UX for bond trading. They have crypto trading. Check this out. It is pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video. It is free to download. It is free to sign up. Like I said, they have everything you need as a trader, but specifically, I use it for options trading. There's no commission fees. There's no per contract fees. Every time you buy or sell a call, you get a rebate. Every time you buy or sell a put, you get a rebate. No other brokerage does that. So if you're a trader right now, open this up, get this account started. If you are just starting out as your trading career, this is a great place to get going. They've been doing options trading for about a year now, and every single month they just have more and more great quality updates. The most recent update with some UI UX stuff was also some longer term retirement account stuff. So now you could do it in a tax sheltered manner. Like I'm saying, Public is awesome. There's a reason why I've been partnered up with them for over a year, because they are the highest quality broker to do it. So give them a check. Pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. Use that link because you're going to get a bit of a bonus when it comes to the rebate level that you come in at. So I think you're really, really going to enjoy it, at least as much as I do. And obviously, shout out to Public. Really, the second I sell premium is like, all right, we're going to take a breather now. I knew that was going to happen to me. Oh, did we hit 1250? We overshot it by a little bit, but I was kind of just... I knew there was an important region between 610 and 615, so I cut it in half and just told you guys 612.50. Looks like we just overshot it, and now we're getting knocked there. The reason I called that level out to you was because of hang on. All right, let me zoom in a little bit on this just so we can make it more readable. Right here. Oh, actually, the matrix is moving up. Interesting. Okay, so the volume on the day, people are still selling the 610s and the 615. So when you're selling calls, you want it below it. So, but we're seeing more volume coming in at the sold 6,040s. That's interesting. The other thing we could look at is SPX. And let's make this a little bit more readable as well. In terms of open interest, obviously 6,000 is important. The next one in terms of total open interest, we're kind of at a node right now, 610, but the next one, 625. Huge node on the 0 DTE, which I don't think we're going to, of course it could happen, but I think it's very low odds, 6,150. We don't need that right now. We don't need that right now. And we're kind of battling it out right at this point of least resistance of 6,015, 6015, 6,015, in between the green and the red, this black area. It's called a point of least resistance, and it's just kind of a natural delta flow. Gamma's positive, delta's positive. Gamma and delta are now positive, even not only on the 0 DT, but also on the all expiration. Let's see what we could see here. That's a lot of positive gamma. When it's this dark purple, positive gamma. So remember, negative gamma, positive and negative gamma, once again, are not bullish or bearish. It's just the ease at which price moves. So you're going to get bigger moves in negative gamma, and you're going to get more of mean reversion moves in positive gamma. And as you can tell on the screen right now, that's a lot of positive gamma. If I zoom in, you can see we're at a node right here, 610, 615. There's some long calls up to 625. That's also the spot gamma implied one-day move high. So that would be my next upward target. But also for how big this node is, I wouldn't be surprised if we just get stuck here in all reality. Let's look at some of these gamma levels. right here, that's a lot of positive gamma. The negative gamma is where these long calls might take their profit. Once again, at 6,025, about $1 above where we are right now on the SPY, 10 points higher on SPX, 10 points and some change. So this is a lot of positive gamma. So the way things have dramatically slowed down, like we got this push and it's just now we're kind of getting stuck into a grind that unless something changes in the options market today, I wouldn't be surprised if that's kind of the story. Let's mark out these intraday highs just so we know if there's a breakout or a breakdown. Breakout or breakdown. And then I also want these breakdown alerts of this last major low. So let's set those up just to know if there's an intraday reversion. Not the biggest fan of Tesla right now. Sold off lower highs, lower lows, trend line breakout, but has not capitalized on it, just going sideways since then. Nvidia just grind to the upside. Almost got, I think it was $1 away, $1 and some change away from the all-time high. Just below 153 is the all-time high. And it just got up to just below 152. So 151.71 appears to be the intraday high as of now. The CEO of Nvidia, Jensen, will be speaking at the tech conference in Las Vegas today. He's expected to talk about the Blackwell chip. So that obviously could have a clear impact on the stock. So paying attention to that. Fubo pop. Someone's saying I'm missing out. How am I missing? I still think you guys are misunderstanding this Fubo pop. If you were in it beforehand, that's phenomenal. But today it hasn't really done anything. Don't chase things that, like, I think a lot of retail traders are attracted to the big thing that just moved. They're like, oh, it's up 165%. Yeah, it's up 165% for the people who were in it on Friday, not for you people chasing it today. It's just, don't chase the thing that's already moved. You're late to the party. You want to be in before the move, whether to the upside or the downside. There's a very important reason in the stock market. There's the saying, buy the rumor, sell the news. People are already selling this news. All of these people said, cool, they were in on it. They're taking their money. They're selling to you. You're the sucker if you're buying now. Like, you're buying it at a premium. They're selling it to you as a premium. Everyone who was in Fubo before this, you are now their exit liquidity. The news, Matt, look at it. I am not looking at it. I don't care if Disney, like, you're buying a shit penny stock, dude. I'm going to bash it into your heads. Or I think if you continually play things like this, the losses in your own trading account will eventually bash it into your heads of don't trade this. This is, if you were in it before, phenomenal. That's awesome. And maybe you even want to try to ride the trend. But if you're getting into it now, your risk is all the way down here. Why would you get into something at 369, risking something in the mid ones? That's stupid. That's actually dumb. That's verifiably retarded for you to do that. And yet people are still trying to make it a thing. Stop getting enamored with the new shiny toy. You're late. You're missing it. Like, get over it. Move on to the next thing. And yet there's still people like, nah, man, dude, it's got to do it. It's gotta do it. No, dude, it is not worth the risk reward. With me having no knowledge of where this is going to go, whether to the upside or to the downside, I don't know. Obviously, no one knows. I'm telling you, mathematically, it is not worth the risk. And if you're in it, I hope it pays off for you. I'm not rooting against you. I want you to make money. Obviously, I want you to make money. But if you take that type of trade time and time again, it is only a matter of time before you blow out your entire account, because that is not a quality trade. You are taking too much risk. And I don't know, people are trying to pump it, make it seem like it's a thing. It's not a thing. You're fucking stupid. Mathematically, you are stupid to chase this. So, I mean, if you want to chase it and you're like, dude, I'm feeling good about it. It's a gamble. Okay. Like, I wish you luck, and I hope you're betting a small part of your account. So if you hit it, cool. I hope you make money. And if it doesn't go your way, I hope you only like lose a kind of like a paper cut type of a situation. But it's just not, that's not a quality trade. It's just an arbitrary gamble. That's all it is. Wouldn't recommend holding like y'all did AMC, but traders eating though. Well, the traders on AMC made a lot of money. As I stated numerous times, AMC was never an investment. Never, ever an investment. It was an active trade. I mean, hell, there's a clip of me literally on CNBC saying this is an active trade, not an investment. AMC was never an investment. And actually now it's even in worse investment than it was. And it was really bad years ago. But right now it's just caught up in a debt spiral. Like it's horrible. But AMC, GME is a better investment on a relative basis to AMC, but relative to the overall market, it's still a bad investment because no one knows what the company's doing. All we know is that there's a pile of money and that's it. So none of these are good investments. AMC's a dog shit investment. GME's not good, but it is better than AMC. Fubo's a bad investment. There's too many people who are trying to force something to happen here. You're trying to force what's going on, when in reality, the game of trading is commonly really boring and you're just sitting around, and most of the time you're being presented with really bad trades. 99% of trading and investing is you not being presented with a quality setup, but you're just sitting around waiting for that 1% of time where you actually do have everything aligning for you and your system and your thesis, and then you move on. But Fubo is cash positive and Disney just bought 70%. Who gives a shit, dude? You're chasing. Do you not understand risk? That you're trying to make it work for you because you already probably did the trade. That's not how you trade. Who gives a shit, dude? That it doesn't make sense. What kind of argument is that? But Fubo is cash positive and Disney just bought 70%. Who gives a fuck? Your risk is literally more than 50%. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. By the time someone, regardless of the company, say you don't know the company, the leadership, their debt, their finance, or anything, as soon as someone tells you that the risk is more than 50%, you move on with your life. That is too much risk. And that's just, I think a lot of retail traders don't understand that. Being a trader means you're being a risk manager. The winning trades are easy. They, as I say a lot, they take care of themselves. Your job as a trader is to be 100% focused 100% of the time of the risk of your portfolio, and you have to manage that risk. And you say, I like the risk reward. Okay, you're stupid. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, you like it. You're dumb. And I hope you make money. I hope you make a lot of money, but that doesn't mean that you took too high of a risk. Man, this is why retail traders fail all of the time. Literally over 90% of the time, retail traders fail because of this mindset. They just no, I just want it to work. I'm okay with the risk. Well, you're stupid. Good. Unfortunately, if you don't change your outlook on the market and investing and in trading, you're going to lose money. And that's painful. I see it day and day again, and it breaks my heart of how many retail traders are just continually blowing out their account because they're doing things that they don't understand. You have to actually appreciate that, because remember, losing 10% and making 10% are two very different things. If you lose 10% of your portfolio, you don't have to make 10% to get it back. You have to make more than 10%. So when you look at percentage loss in your account, it's not a linear thing. It's not the same as losing $1,000 and making $1,000 to make it back. Because if you lose $1,000 relative to your account, you have to make more of that percentage back just to get back to break even. So the same nominal value takes up a larger percentage of what you have to make, and people don't get that. I think when someone says it and you think about it, you're okay, that makes sense, because if you start at $100 and you go down to 90, you lost 10%, but to go back up, you now have to make 11%. You have to make a bigger percent. So you have to trade even better when after a losing trade just to get back to break even. That's how percentages work. And I think that's a thing that's not commonly discussed or in an impactful way, at least articulated in the stock market. Or at least in the education related to the stock market. Making 10% and losing 10% they're not two completely different things, but they're different things. And losing 10% has a greater magnitude impact than making 10%. Obviously, one's positive and one's negative, but the size of the impact of what it actually means for your account is greater when you lose money than the same percentage of you making money. Which is coming back to the core, discussion here. which is why you have to spend 90% of your time being focused on risk and like maybe 10% of your time being focused on the like theoretical upside reward. Like your job as an active trader day in and day out is just to focus on risk, focus on risk, focus on risk, not chase stupid things like this, which, well, now that we're talking about Fubo, we might as well look at the options on it. No one's touching options for this Friday. They're buying calls for win. So there was options buying from 1022 to 1033. So for about 10 minutes, people were buying, once again, not options for this Friday. They were buying longer dated options, and then it stopped. The faucet turned off. So someone was splashing the pot. The delta really jumped because people also closed out puts. But once again, this is all longer dated stuff. It's not for the next expiration. It's for somewhere further down the line, further down the calendar, but they're not touching shorter dated puts at all. There's some shorter dated calls, like a very small amount, but it's more of longer dated. So if you do play it, which I think is a stupid idea, you should be looking farther out because no one is playing short term on this right now. Mag 7 looks weird. Equities are looking weird. Index is actually not looking that good. Like it sold off. We're just getting stuck in all this positive gamma right here. Let me check one thing. Where is it? The rate of change is now nothing. Yeah. I think what was that alert? The Q's new intraday high. SPX. I think this zone is kind of what the market has in it today. As of right now, as based on the current option setup. Once again, it changes. But I think this would be my upper target if it can take out 15, and that's a big if because 15 is a big zone too. So the longer we hang out above 6,000, the more likely it is it turns from resistance to support. So if we do push here, okay, great. Now we have a higher level of support to play off of. But this is resistance here at 15 based on the options market. And then the next level here based on the options market and various other things would be my next like realistic level. 82. Yeah, there's nothing I can really. Stuff is just kind of like decaying. The Q's pushed. Nvidia's looking good. Tesla is not looking that good. Broadcom taking a bit of a hit. ASML, like I said, looking great. ROM's looking good, up 2.6%. ASML 6.8. Broadcom's up 2. Tesla's up 1, giving back quite a bit. Nvidia, I would argue, is like a big winner of the day. SPX, Nvidia, Tesla, MicroStrategy, SPY, Q's, Coin, AMD, Amazon, Meta. Those are like the hot flow ones. How's Meta looking? Meta, huge recovery. Meta from 614 down to 606, back up to 616. So Meta, that kind of Nike swoosh recovery, V-shape recovery. Nvidia, we already looked at that. How's MSTR? MSTR, a decent bounce from 340 up to 364. So dollar wise, it moves quite a bit, but it's also very expensive. You're paying quite a bit for the premium in this one on MSTR. Meta's good. Coin chilling at 292. That was a key level we called out. In terms of volume, this was like a key volume level. Looks like the SPY's going for a new intraday high. The Qs are going. How's my account looking? Everything would be great if Tesla just stopped sucking ass. I mean, it got the breakout and then did nothing with the breakout. Oh, what else is moving? Anything? DJT's up 4.8%. Inauguration on the 20th. Don't forget that. CrowdStrike's looking good. Amazon's looking good. Amazon is looking pretty solid. Microsoft solid. I mean, actually, Amazon's looking real solid right now. Looking real solid. We did that. Gains you can't refuse. All right. Is there anything else? Obviously, sign up for Public. They're awesome. I love working with them. I love their platform. This guy beat me trade copier today. So I'm afraid to go for that much money because of the way percentages work out. Oh, So he meant to go for 822 and some of them kept riding. So some of those, I don't know. I was done earlier. I have 20 Apex accounts and 5 Tradeify accounts. So I locked in 25K and I've been done ever since. And then also that other trade we talked about has still been working pretty nicely. I think on my Apex accounts, I believe on these 20 right here, let me double check. I think if I don't blow out tomorrow, I can request another 40K. Now, will I be approved? That's a different situation, but let me check. Log in. Let me check PA accounts. Yeah, so here's my 20 PA accounts for Apex. So as of market close on Friday, I had 22 days, which means today's 23, which means tomorrow's 24. And obviously this now goes in eights. So 8, 16, 24. So I believe I'll be able to request again, which is pretty freaking sick. So the Tradeify accounts were 100K accounts, so they're only up 2K, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And then the Apex accounts started at 50K each, so they're up somewhere between 19.5 thousand and 20,000. There's a little bit of a spread. Some come all the way down to 19.4, some go up to 70.1. So there's about a $500 spread. There's a bit of a gradient there, but roughly up about $19.5 thousand on all of my Apex accounts, which is about a 40% return in about 23 trading days. So obviously very, very extraordinarily happy with that. This has been my best run on Apex ever. Like not even by a little bit, but by like a lot of bit. So I need it because your boy has taxes to pay for coming up soon. And I also have to move soon. So by the time you get a mover and a new apartment and the first month down and the last month down and the security deposit, this, that, and the other thing, it eats up quite a bit of your free capital. So I would absolutely love a 40K payout, which would be my second one ever of all time. I've gotten more pullouts before, or more payouts from pulling out all the money before, but the previous pullouts, aka those payouts, were not max payouts. The max payout is 40K, 2K per account. I have 20 accounts on Apex. I'm very far away from getting payouts on Tradeify. I'm like nowhere close. That's going to take another like 2 weeks. Apartment. I live in an apartment now, and then I also have this studio. But dude, New York, the prices are being crazy. Like they're absolutely insane right now. I was just reading, I think New York is the only place in the US where rental prices are not coming down. The median apartment in New York City in Manhattan right now is over 4K. And what 4K gets you in Manhattan is like half of a dirty closet with a dead hooker in the other half. So I might be done with New York. I don't really know. I have to decide. Within the next month, and I don't know where I'm going to go. But I get really discouraged with how low the quality of life is becoming in New York for your living quarters. Obviously, there's a lot of cool things to do. I have a lot of friends here. But to be here from a living perspective, the living quarter quality of life sucks. So I'm not the biggest fan of that. The taxes, obviously not good. SPY new intraday high. Dude, this thing is cooking. And also, this is the first time, and maybe I'm wrong on this, but this is the first time, maybe it's because I'm a married man. New York's like, I think it's always been dangerous, but I'm now, I suppose, appreciating how dangerous it is. I honestly think it's just because I have a wife now, and like every single day I hear about a new person on the trains being lit on fire, being pushed in front of a train, or endless stabbings. Like every single week in New York, someone is getting stabbed on a train. And obviously there's even more horrendous, grotesque things of being lit on fire, random person being pushed in front of the train. So like, and I think it was always dangerous, and maybe it's just the way it's being like reported right now. So I'm not necessarily saying it's new, but it is new for me to be conscious of how fucked up it is. So I don't know. The one guy who just went on a stabbing spree last week, He's been arrested 80 plus times. And they're like, whatever, put him back on the streets. So I don't know. I need to decide. So if any of you have an extra room and you want me to move in with you, let me know. I have a cat. The wife, that's up for discussion if she comes or not. But if I come, like, definitively, I'll have Piper with me. So don't forget to that. Come back to PA. I'm thinking about that. Coming back to PA, maybe further out in Jersey, maybe Florida, maybe Los Angeles. I don't know. I think I'm being a little bit biased towards warmer weather right now because it's 25 degrees and frigid and hailing and snow and sleet and rain. So the fact that I'm being forced to move right now, because I'm not being forced, my lease is up. It does make me a little bit more biased to a place that has like the sun. So move to Thailand. That's up there. That's on the list. The Thai is on the list. Oh man. Oh brother. What in the world? What in tarnation? Yeah, it's New York City or Thailand, the classic two comparable places. Nvidia is going very nicely. We're crushing that bad mamma jamma. Up a total of 5.3 unrealized, 8.6K on the day. Tesla up 8.7 unrealized in total, and then the Q's up 6.8 total unrealized. So 5 plus 7 is 12, 12 plus 8, up about 20K unrealized. Not a bad day to be me. Not a bad for Puerto Rico. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to talk the wife into Puerto Rico. I think that'll be too far from our families. Arizona's pretty crazy, or pretty nice. Texas, dude. Sometimes, folks, if you don't live in Texas, let me give you a word of caution. Do not Zillow places in Texas because you're going to be so fucking jealous, dude. You can get a giant mansion in Texas. I was looking in like the Plano, like Dallas, Fort Worth area. You can get a huge house. Like, dude, I was looking at places in Texas that have a movie theater. They're like, dude, we have so much space. We don't know what to do. So we we just built you a movie theater. And so I'm telling you, don't Zillow places in Texas if you're not going to move there because you're just going to be jealous. You're going to be so incredibly jealous that you don't have a pool and an in-house gym and an in-house theater and 4 fucking kitchens and 18 bedrooms and a random horse that comes with a house that you could ride to town if you want to ride on. Like, I'm just telling you, don't do it. Don't do it. The Woodlands, Texas, Houston. Dude, ZE. I have a friend who actually lives in the Woodlands. That's really funny. He loves it. I was there in June of last year, though, and I don't think I've ever felt a city that is as hot as like Satan's ball sack. I don't know if do people in Houston even go out between June, July, and August? I felt like I was melting. I've been in saunas, and this felt like a hotter sauna that just never turns off. I don't know. I was there for the Live Golf tournament in June, and dude, I was I saw multiple dudes like with heat stroke. What do you think about Austin? I don't like Austin. I think it's fine. I think a lot of people talk themselves into thinking Austin is better than it is. I have nothing bad to say about it. I just think people think it's absolutely amazing, and I think Austin's it's fine. I don't know. It's Austin is very all right in my book. That's actually how I think about people lose their mind about Miami. That's another place that I'm like, it's fine. I don't know. I don't really get why everyone's like, yo, like Miami's where it's at. I guess I don't. It's fine. It's Miami. Like, I don't know. I think that's how I feel relative to most places in the United States, where I'm like, if I had to live there, like gun to my head, I'd be like, yeah, cool. I'll make the best of it. Like, whatever. But I don't like, it doesn't like really strike me as being like absolutely amazing. I live in Houston and want to live somewhere else, dude, I don't blame you. Unless you have like ice buckets following you around all the time in the summer, dude, that gets hot. It gets hot. Someone's just yelling free Palestine. Oddly enough, we weren't talking about Israel Palestine, so get over it. We were talking about where I should live. The fact that you think the Israel Palestine conflict is more important than where I should potentially live next is insane. It goes, where should thickness live? And then Israel Palestine conflict all the way down here. That's been like well explained on this show. Like when it comes to this show, it goes me, myself, and I, and today specifically, where should I live? And then like many leagues lower is the importance of the Israel-Palestine conflict. Like it's actually so low on the list. I'd rather talk about, I don't know, the bag of popcorn I ate last night when I told myself I wasn't going to snack because like New Year's resolution, New Year, new me. That's how incredibly low on the list that entire thing is. Like, and I'm not just saying for me and humanity and my mindset, I'm talking about like measurably to the entire world. It is much more impactful on the entire globe of where I live next, like relative to the Israel-Palestine conflict. I want to make that clear. Like this isn't just in my mind. I'm actually saying like measurably from all people in this world, all world government, like the entire thing across the board, it is far more important globally, universally of where I live rather than Israel versus Palestine. I want that on the record. I don't want there like any if, ands, or buts of like, what's he saying? What's he not saying? I'm saying where I live next matters far more than the current conflict, the history of the conflict, and honestly, dare I say it, the history of the entire region. Come to the Midwest. Dude, what if I just like hop in my horse and wagon and just kind of like Oregon Trail it and just like break down somewhere in like Oklahoma? Dude, I could probably crush it in Oklahoma. Maybe I'll try out for OKC. You guys think I have a shot to make it on the Thunder? What do we have here? Am I missing any breaking news? I just get really into being a fan for the Oklahoma City. Do they have casinos there? Would I just get addicted to casinos? What do you think of South Dakota? It's cool. I like it. Once again, freezing. Absolutely freezing. But cool. I mean, when you get to the Midwest and when you get to the South, people are just nicer. I would argue that the people I'm around, and they don't even do it intentionally. It's just like in the water here in New York. You don't have people who are necessarily hospitable. Like if you are not walking fast enough in New York, it only takes 10 minutes for someone to say, hurry the fuck up. Well, if you are like in the South or the Midwest, you walk into a diner and not only do they say like, hey, how are you doing? I hope you're having a great day. They actually mean it. Well, if you walk into a diner in New York, you might just get coffee thrown at you if you don't shut the door fast enough. So like, I don't think they intentionally are like malicious here in New York. It's just a different culture. It's a different vibe. Like there's a lot of just like low level, like latent anger here in New York City. And I kind of like it because I'm like, as you guys can tell, like an angry person. So like I fit in well here, but I also wonder what it does to my psyche in the long term. Like I really do. Like if I'm perpetually around an environment and a culture that's as mean and demeaning as I am for decades, like that can't be good. Like I feel like something needs to like be offset. New Yorkers are at least honest. Oh yeah, crazy, honest to people's face, honest to a fault. New Yorkers don't lie. Like if you're a piece of shit, they have no issue telling you you're a piece of shit to your face. Or if you're in their way or hurry the fuck up, like all the time. The other day, I was just on the elevator watching this. I saw a person yell at another person because it took him too long to hit the button to close the door. And the other guy who got yelled at, he kind of agreed. He was like, yeah, it was kind of slow. Like it's never meant in like a truly angerful way. Like it's never, there's not like malicious intent. It's just like, if you at all cost a New Yorker like 1 second of their day, there's a larger problem. Like literally the other guy in the elevator, he's like, yeah, it was kind of slow. I'm sorry about that. Like, he's like, yeah, I needed to click that button faster. He's like, that's on me, bro. And that's just how it goes. Dude, that would never happen in Oklahoma. In Oklahoma, by the time you're at the bottom of the elevator, you're going to get invited to their Thanksgiving. Aunt Doris is going to say, come on over. Turkey's getting cut at too. It's just a different vibe. It's just a different vibe. And I'm not saying one's worse or not. It's just like kind of like the culture for you. It's just, it's different. It's different. But what is better about Oklahoma or Florida or whatever is you don't have a bunch of random stabbings on the train like you do here in New York, or I don't know, people being lit in fire, or I don't know, people randomly being pushed in front of an oncoming train. Those all seem to be pretty specific to New York, and I wouldn't argue that those are quality aspects. I wouldn't say that those are things that like we necessarily should be hanging our hat on, even though the governor of the state, Kathy Hochul, is telling us that, yeah, crime's down. Is it, lady? Because I think we all just watched a video of someone getting lit on fire. Doesn't necessarily feel like that's a trending direction for crime stats in New York. But hey, maybe I just don't understand what's crime these days. Oklahoma is very chill, but don't come. I'm not going to Oklahoma. Dude, you think my wife's going to go to Oklahoma? These are the states I can feasibly go to. Florida, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, or California. Those are, I can only go to 10% of US states. And that's the 10% right there. New York, New Jersey, Florida, Pennsylvania, California. Those are the only states currently in the running. Your boy's not going to be able to talk his wife into going to a different state outside of those 5. So you don't have to worry about me ruining your fun time in Oklahoma. I'll come and visit. We can go hunt some wild boar or something, but I won't be able to move there. What about Virginia is in the running, but not for this move. I feel like Virginia would be a good place to go to if I like had a kid or something and needed more space. So Virginia is not in the running now, but I think within the next 3 to 5 years, it would very much be in the running. I'm a fan of Northern Virginia. I think it's well connected. I think it's a great place to raise a family. It's safe. Well, depending on where you are, it can be safe. Good public school system. Dulles is a major airport. You can get to wherever you need to be. I think I like it. It's just not in the running on this particular move, but I could see a world in which one day I end up in Virginia. Come to San Diego. If I go to California, it'll be Los Angeles, but I love San Diego. It's beautiful. I have friends there who tell me it's like the best place on earth. And when I'm there, it's hard for me to disagree. San Diego rocks, dude. It rocks. How are you feeling about the new congestion prices, which went live today? Doesn't impact me because I don't drive, but I think they're stupid. I think this governor sucks. I think she is basically speed running how quickly a governor can just be not reelected. I don't really run into people who like her. San Diego is Spanish for a whale's vagina. San Diego. I spent 25 years in LA. Don't do it. Well, you're not my mom. Oh my God, California sucks. Hey, someone needs to change it. That'll be me. Sign me up. I'm the guy. Virginia Beach. I lived in Virginia Beach for about 3 to 4 months at one point for like a longer stay Airbnb. And I was there in the winter, so it's kind of the off season, but I actually liked it. I liked that I was there in the off season because I feel like I got to get connected with like the locals. I'm sure it's completely different in the summer, but for the time that I was there, it was enjoyable. CA governor is so bad he probably is next candidate for president. Don't do it, man. Dude, someone's got to change it. You get the Comedy Store. It's worth it. Comedy Store. Well, also there's that comedy club obviously now in Austin. I don't know, folks. I'm going to do what I always do to pick where I live next. I'm going to flip a coin and I'm going to call it a day. Whatever it lands on, it lands on. Dude, Tesla is murking me right now. What are you doing, Tesla? Why is Tesla acting like a little bitch right now? Man, maybe I should have just sold out of the gate. But if I did that with Nvidia, I would have missed out on this. So, hey, you can't cry over spilled milk. Can't cry over spilled milk. 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 4 hour, all bullish. 5, 10, 30, 40, all bullish. We're actually getting not only the upside gap fill to 598.08, we're actually getting that trend line breakout. We are also chilling right where a lot of premium sellers don't want this to be. Remember, they sold calls. So if they buy those calls back, if these people get blown out, and when I say these people, I mean these people, where are those people? These people. If these people get blown out, it will add positive deltas to the system and push us up to about 6,030 most likely. So if these short call players are like, I'm getting steamrolled. Remember, when you sell calls, that is adding negative deltas. When you buy them back or just buy them in general, that's positive deltas. So that will be some upward force to about 6,025, 6,030. This isn't the biggest chunk of deltas, but it's something to like obviously still pay attention to. So as we go higher and higher and higher, the delta situation will more so favor the bulls. That's 6,025. Interesting. Interessante. What we're seeing right now is called a Vana squeeze. So if you want some little light reading today, you should look up Vana squeeze, V-A-N-N-A. That's what's playing out today. And it seems like we're shooting up to this level. What the fuck, Tesla? Such bullshit. The Qs are going. At least I'll get to enjoy this riding. I'm up 119%. Fuck, man. Dude, I'm so good at this video game. I love this video game. All right, folks. It's 11:11. You know what that means? It means you should wish for me to end the show because that's what's about to happen. Folks, it's a Monday. It's a money-making Monday. I do appreciate all the good vibes. I love you guys all. Check out Public. Get on that brokerage. And also don't forget to sign up for the Discord. Your first month is free if you use that code Goonie. Both links are the first links in the description of the video. And my mod will be posting them very, very shortly. Sign up for Public. Sign up for the Discord. And don't forget to use the code Goonie. Use those links. All that stuff will be in there. Right now, the bulls are in control. I expect them to remain in control, but don't forget we have some upcoming news that might throw a little bit of wrench into the situation. So that's the type of stuff that we'll be monitoring and paying attention to for the remainder of the day in the Discord. A lot of active trading going on there, and obviously all done via Public, so make sure you're signing up for both of those. Have a great Monday. I hope you're making a shitload of money. I hope you make 2 times the shitload of money for the remainder of the day, and I'll catch you guys again tomorrow. Appreciate all the good vibes. Happy Monday. I'll catch you later. Love you all. Bye.